Let's learn how to weigh something, the mass of something, using a triple beam balance. This in front of you is a triple beam balance. It's called a triple beam balance because it has 3 beams to it. This first beam up front measures grams by ones, all the way from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 up to 10 grams. The one in the middle is the biggest one, and it measures by 100s, all the way from 100 to 200 up to 500 grams. And the one in the far back measures in tens, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 grams. The first thing that you always do with a triple beam balance is over here on the right hand side, you look to make sure that the line that's on the balance, on the beams, lines up with the line that measures the 0. Those two need to be directly across from one another. So let's go ahead and measure the weight of this film canister that I have, and we'll just simply put it on the scale over here on the left, and you'll notice when it does that the arm over here goes up. Well, it's kind of like a teeter-totter. When you put the heavier person is going to make it go down. So this is the heavier side right now because we put the film canister on it. And the way we always measure anything that's over here on the scale, on the platform, is always the same. You start with the middle beam, that's the biggest one, and see if you can get it to balance going to 100. Well, by putting it at 100, you'll see over here on the right hand side, this went way down. That means that 100 is too much, and so we back off. We know it's less than 100 at this point, but it's more than 0. So now we're going to go to the tens in the far back, and we're going to move it one at a time. So I moved it to 10. That made this arm over here on the right hand side go all the way down. That means 10 is too much. So we back off, go back to 0. So now we know it's more than 0 but less than 10. And so that means it's either going to be 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 or somewhere in there. And with your pencil, you always move this one with your pencil here on the bottom. Okay, you move it over little by little until the balance on the right starts moving. And we see it's starting to move a little bit. And so the goal is to make these two line up again. And there I went a little too much. And let's see if that zeroes out at that point. Yep, that's pretty dang close right there. So we see that it weighs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 grams. And if you look at this top part of the weight right here, there's a little 2 parts of a triangle, a little pointy. And the pointy is pointing at one line past the 6. So it would be 6.1. There are 10 lines here in between, where there's 6.2, 3, 4, 5, 6.6, 6, 7, 6, 8, 6, 9, and 7. And so this is pointing at 6.1. So we would say that this film canister weighs 6.1 grams. The main thing to remember is at the very beginning, on the right-hand side, these two lines need to be across from each other when you start, and then you always start with the hundreds, which is the middle balance, then you go to the tens, and you go to the ones. And that's it. It's pretty simple.